now proudly presented on SNME. That's Sunday night's main event, Patreon and free feed.
We just people from the north side. Once the Timmy's hit the shore fine. Winter ready on the four ties. Heavy traffic during 4-5. Gotta hustle on your own time. Color people every port side. We just people from the north.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's your host, your boy George Mackay, back here for another MLW Rewind. And as you know, I never do this alone. I always do this with my PIC, my podcast life partner, the one and only Uncle Boobala B.
Hoy hoy, how's it going?
Hoy, 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 hoy. All right, so listen, we're here today to discuss Battle Riot 6. Rob and I love this event. Well, I can't speak for Rob, but I will say this is my favorite event. I believe this is also your favorite event as well, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I'm a big, as I adjust my microphone stand, I'm a big fan of the Battle Riot, just as I'm a big fan of similar events held by other organizations. I think it's always a lot of fun to get those surprise entrants. You get some, some surprises, some old faces, some new faces, and we've seen people come through the Battle Riot and then go on to make more appearances for the company, for the league. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Battle Riot.
And for anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, Battle Riot is their annual event where it is pretty much like a Royal Rumble. But instead of 30, it's 40 men. And instead of just throwing over the top, you can eliminate an opponent by throwing them over the top. You can pin them, you can submit them. And also, weapons are not only allowed, they're encouraged. That's right. You can use a table. You can use a chair. You can use every form of possibilities are endless, really. They are. We've seen a lot of weird shit come up in the Battle Riot. That's for sure. So without further ado, shall we get to it?
Let's go.
All right. So Selena De La Renta is back. If you guys don't remember from our previous event, she was kind of kidnapped or semi-kidnapped or maybe given a lesson. I'm not really 100% sure what happened, but for whatever reason, she got out and she is pissed. And she's out for revenge. Who is she out for revenge against? Well, none other than Cesar Duran. And he opens the show after seeing Selena in the building. And he says he gave her opportunities. And he tried to teach her. And she became a spoiled brat. There was no time for revenge. Very interesting. There is no time for revenge tonight. Tonight is a time to make history. And as CD always does, he kicks off the show with one of his own, announcing Azteca Lucha's Delmi Exo versus the former Promocios Torontos. Now we know the inside woman for Contra, Janai Kai, who is the current reigning featherweight champ. This was a great match. This was probably Janai Kai's hardest test in defending this title.
Unquestionably.
Delmi gave her everything. Delmi hit her with everything. Delmi actually looked to be in control of this match until Selena came out, started talking shit to CD, went to spray him with some mace. He ducked out of the way, leaving Delmi Exo open. And once Delmi was blinded, well, a sweet roundhouse kick from Janai Kai, the kick demon, and a 1, the 2, the free. And Janai retains. And she just continues to build this legacy of the longest reigning featherweight champ. She is now undefeated since she won that title, if I'm not mistaken, back in October, November, she won that title just before Christmas.
Really? It's been that long, eh?
Yeah, I was surprised too, but I haven't fact checked it 100%, but I believe she's going on 7-8 months in that title reign.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to think about it. But think about who they put her up against. It's not like she's had days off. I mean, when she's had to put that title up, she's been in all kinds of situations, triple threats, fatal four-ways, and she comes out on top every single time. I mean, at this point, Rob, do you see anyone in that featherweight division that can knock the kick demon off her perch right now?
She has run through and like not just beat them, but like dominated them. Mm-hmm. She has been running through, and I agree with you. This was her strongest test. Delmi took her to the limit, and it took a little bit of like who knows what would have happened if Selena didn't show up with that debilitating spray. That whether it was mace or whatever it was,
I'm going to say clearly it was mace, taking your eyesight out. I'm not 100% sure it was pepper spray or mace, but it looked to be in the same type of. It was one or the other.
Something that's gonna hurt, and yeah. So Janai Kai getting the victory, but it was a good match and a good way to open things off. It kind of set the tone for what we were going to see for the rest of the premium live event.
Absolutely. And let me tell you, we got a lot of crazy surprises. How about this? Emmy winner, Paul Hauser, okay? Cobra Kai, Stingray, the man, okay? He's in the back, he's chilling. And who shows up? Well, Ernest the Cat Miller. Jimmy Wang? How about Violent J, one half of the Insane Clown Posse? Everyone is just chilling, and he's talking and he's showing how excited he is to be where he's at right now in Hotlanta. The fact that he was able to purchase Arachnid's original costume from the WCW days. Very excited to be at center stage, which is where WCW, the Power Station, used to be filmed, in case anyone doesn't know. And as he's talking to all these legends, these OGs, these, larger than life personalities, the costume goes missing, Rob. It's stolen. And it's not anybody in the room that we could think of, but he runs out and he is pissed. He wants to know what happened to his Arachnid costume, okay? And he's going to find out later on the show. But right now, it's Alex Kane versus AJ Francis and Ritual Combat for control of the Boo My Yay Fight Club. Now, if you want to know what Ritual Combat is, it's pretty much this. Decimate your opponent any way possible. Go all the way up to the ramp where there is a throne. Sit in the throne. If your opponent cannot reach you or the throne within 10 seconds, you are the winner of Ritual Combat. And who else do we have to make sure that this match goes fair? Well, how about some OGs? How about two Hall of Famers in the World's Strongest Man, Mark Henry, and the greatest SmackDown GM to ever live? Holla, if you hear me, Teddy Long. They're up there. They are the elders. And this match was everything you would expect. And I will say this. Alex Kane brought the best out in AJ Francis that I have seen in his MLW run thus far. AJ fucking killed it. He looks sweet. And I never thought I would say this, but how about that running knee over the top, landing on his fucking feet? That was impressive for a man who literally a year and a bit ago had the botch of all botches on TV that people didn't realize he was dealing with health issues. But obviously he's got the health issues under control. He knows what he's doing. And I'll give Devil his due. AJ can wrestle. He can talk. I don't like it when he talks, though, because when he talks, he annoys me. I'll be honest about that. And I'm not saying that he annoys me as a person. Just his character fucking annoys me. Too much money. Too much. I don't like it. But I get it while he's doing it, and he does a good job of making me hate him. But Alex Kane brought the best out in AJ. And I will say this. AJ brought the best out in Alex Kane that I've seen post being a champion. This was by far Alex Kane's best match post being an MLW heavyweight champion. That's just my opinion. Alex Kane has had some phenomenal contests, some phenomenal stories, but this one just hit difference. And every single time I thought AJ might win, Alex found a way to dig deep, hit that second gear, third gear, fourth gear, whatever it may be, and he annihilated it. He killed it. Alex Kane did win. He did sit in that throne for 10 seconds. He did win Ritual Combat, and he is now in control of the Boo My Yay Fight Club once again. And the greatest thing about this, I know you saw it, Rob, the Boo My Yay Fight Club was split.
The slow migration
over to Alex Kane's side. I fucking loved it. It was simple. It was very nice little Easter egg they did in the back for us. I appreciate everything about this match. I really enjoyed it. And of course, Alex Kane taking a picture with two of the greats. That's pretty fucking, he's got to be on a high horse. I texted him after I saw the match and I said, my dude, you killed it. As always, Alex is one of the most humble and appreciative men. And he said, thank you so much, my dude. And it was great. It was just to see Alex continuing to have the success post championship and have a great match like this when there was no gold on the line just for pride. I fucking loved it. What about you?
Oh yeah, it was a great match. I agree with everything you said. Alex got the best out of AJ Francis. I think they both got some of the best out of each other. It's always a challenge when you lose a world championship. It's kind of like, where do you go from here? Because obviously they still want Alex to be getting over, but it's like, where do you go? And so running this program with AJ Francis, I would think it's important to recognize, like, we're two white guys, but they're two men of color, and that's like, it was for the culture, you know what I mean? Like Christian Cole talked about it, to have two guys like the recently released Mark Henry. I think that was a great idea from Court to get Mark Henry involved. And of course, Teddy Long, like I remember Teddy Long from the old days when he was a heel ref at NWA.
I loved it, man.
Like, that's
Let
the
me tell you something, player.
Yeah, so it was super cool. I thought it was a very nice touch. And like you said, the whole thing with the slow migration of the Boo My Yay Fight Club back to the side of Alex Kane, very nice touch. I thought the match was very well worked. Both guys didn't look bad. They both came out of this match looking strong and really elevated themselves, especially AJ Francis, because like you said, he's got some haters, and we've even said, like, maybe AJ's not at that level. You know what? I'll eat my words. He looked strong. He looked like he knew what he was doing in there. He gave Alex a run, but Alex ultimately coming out on top. taking that throne and winning the ritual combat match. I thought it was great stuff. And I almost texted Alex, but I'm like, he's probably busy. I'm not going to bug him.
Yeah, I just shot him a message on Messenger. I didn't expect him to respond at all, but he responded pretty quickly. He was like, "Thanks, my dude." I was like, "Appreciate you, man." I was like, "I always appreciate you." Fuck, I'm a fan, dude. Alex Kane is there. He's in my contacts. It's pretty fucking sweet. Okay, plain and simple. Now, MSL. He's with Lawlor. They're preparing for their match with Kojima, and when they win, they will have MLW by the balls. And you know what, Lawlor? He's got an insurance policy. Okay, don't fuck with Tom Lawlor or MSL because this is the biggest match of their life. Okay. And right after that, we get a Mads Kruger promo. Kruger, he's the new Crusader. And he will introduce himself to the world of Contra. He is planning Contra is in his image. And this new Crusader will be nothing short than a masterpiece and a surprise. Heavyweight title fight time. Lawlor and Kojima. During the announcing of the fighters, as they did a Japanese style, Saint Laurent was handing Tom Lawlor all kinds of weapons and really not making very incognito about it. Sorry. He's literally handing them over the top rope, not slipping them, not trying. He's over the top rope handing all these different weapons to Tom Lawlor, and the ref saw it. The ref saw it. He searched Tom Lawlor. He found a chain. He found brass knucks. I can't remember what the third weapon was. All kinds of stuff to the point where he bans MSL from ringside, but MSL refusing to leave. So at that point, he calls down the ring announcer. And the ring announcer says, MSL, you have 10 seconds to vacate the ring area or you will be banned from MLW for life. And just at that point, I've never seen MSL move that fast in my life. Boy, did he get up those stairs. Did he get up those ramps?
And then he beat it.
He beat it. He did. He beat it by 1 second. But as he beat it, I don't know if you noticed like the swan dive into like the tuck and roll.
That's what I'm saying. He beat it. That's a euphemism for falling. Yeah, he beat it. I was dying, man.
So good. I don't know if that was planned or if that was just adrenaline that took too much. I'm not sure. But I was fucking dying of laughter. But this match was exactly what I expected. Kojima at his best, even though he's been nursing that injury. Kojima at his best, in my opinion. Lawlor, amazing. Tom Lawlor impresses me so much. This man is so underrated. How he has not been picked up by one of the bigger promotions or given more of a run at New Japan is very sad. Lawlor can go and he can go in the best ways possible. He really had a few chances, man. I thought he had Kojima dead to rights a few times, but Kojima digging down deep. I don't know how Kojima, it must be all that bread, all those carbs that Kojima's packing. It must be a reserve tank somewhere of energy with the bread. But fucking every time Lawlor had him dead to rights, and I'm not talking with simple moves, devastating moves like the Blue Thunder Bomb. He just had that sweet Samoan drop, inverted Samoan drop that he did in the center. He had so many opportunities with power moves to lay Kojima down, but he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. Nothing against Tom Lawlor. Kojima is just Kojima. He hits Lawlor with one lariat, doesn't get all of it. Lawlor kicks out, right back up, hits him with a second lariat, securing the win. Kojima is still your reigning, defending MLW heavyweight champion. And probably his best title defense since winning the belt from Alex Kane. I would say this is Kojima's strongest title defense, 100%.
I agree. I think as far as enjoyable matches, of his title defenses, I enjoyed this one the most. Kojima just had that fight in him. He was not gonna give up to this one. Tom almost had him with that. I forget the name of it. It's like Anaconda. Was it Anaconda?
Yeah, Anaconda Vice.
It was, Anaconda Vice.
Yeah, in the Vice, but also that again, I'm not sure if it was right, but I don't know if you saw one of the first near fall attempts, that inverted Samoan drop that he kind of.
Oh yeah,
I don't know what the fuck that was, but just how he had him in a Samoan drop, and then almost it was like a fireman's carry, but then he dropped him in like I don't know what it was, man. It was like a power slam fireman's carry fucking tombstone. It was fucking wild. It was crazy. It was crazy.
They pulled out the stops for this one. I really enjoyed it. Kojima's having a good little run here. I think it's as we get to the end of this episode, it's kind of obvious who's his next challenger will likely be. But for now, Kojima still on top. It's super cool. Really, when you think about it, what a full circle moment. 20 years. This guy was the inaugural MLW champion, and he's the champion again. That is cool. I don't care whether you like pro wrestling or not. That is cool.
No, the storyline speaks for itself. The story writes itself, and it's been a fantastic run. And Kojima is just cementing himself as the first two-time MLW heavyweight champion. He's doing it with a great second run. The first run was great. It was enjoyable. but the second run, and especially Kojima at this age in his career, is still having these banger fucking matches. Like that says something. And again, it's the reserve tank of bread. It has to be. There's a reserve tank there. It has to be. It's all the bread. And
It's
you know
a
what?
lot
I
of
love
extra carbs, man.
It's like, listen, the guy can go. Just when his body's done, it's like, no, hold on, guys, we got carbs coming. They're coming this way. And then boom, it's just Kojima. It's Kojima, man. All right. It is now Battle Riot time. And just as we're about to get through these 40 men, CD comes out. Like I wanted the match so bad. And I love this part of it, but I just wanted to get to the match. I always loved the Battle Riot, but I guess I get it. So CD comes out and, you know, he's interrupted by Selena. She waited 3 years to get the revenge, to kick his ass. And at this point, bad dude Tito shows up. He's behind CD. He's got him kneeling in the center of the ring. Selena's got the upper hand. She promises a public execution and asks him if he has any last words. And what are his last words? He starts laughing really sadistically to the point where it was a little bit borderline creepy, but really sadistically. Like it's hysterical. And then he begins to sing Selena's mother's lullaby. And then we hear Selena's mother in like the audio of her singing in the background starting to come louder. Then on the video screen, we're seeing pictures of Selena as a baby, pictures of Selena's mom, pictures of Selena's mom and CD, pictures of Selena's mom and a young baby, Selena. And things are they're out of control. My head's spinning in 50,000 directions. And then it is revealed that Cesar is Selena's papa. And he asks Selena, this was great, who is her daddy? And at this point, she's crying. She's freaking out. She refuses to answer. She's screaming that she hates him. And he asks her again, come on, tell the people, who is your daddy? And so that's it. Selena De La Renta's absentee father is none other than Cesar Duran. So all the times that he was giving her opportunities, that he was trying to teach her, and she acted like a spoiled little brat, that is something a father would say when they are grooming their daughter to take over their position of power in the world of pro wrestling. And Selena failed all the tests that her papa had given her. Rob, what do you think about this Jerry Springer type revelation? What do you think, man?
It was very like Mexican telenovela. I thought it was hilarious.
Very much so, yes.
I was like, this is such like if anybody who didn't know pro wrestling was watching this, they'd be like, this isn't professional wrestling. It'd be like, this is very pro wrestling. Like this is we used to use that term when I was younger. We'd say like, it's a soap opera for guys. Absolutely. And like I've watched soap operas. Okay, I used to watch Young and the Restless all the time, but that's a whole other story.
I was a Days of Our Lives guy. The Possession with the Devil, Marlena, that was great. Exorcist vibes. I loved it.
Sorry, buddy. Victor Newman all day.
Fair enough.
Newman's a G.
Victor Newman is a badass. Absolutely.
Anyway. But it's true, like storylines and stuff, you have to be creative, and sometimes you come up with something that's like so almost absurd that it is believable. And I thought this was I didn't see this coming, honestly. When the photos came up, then I saw it coming, but I didn't realize this is where they were going to go with it. I thought it was hilarious, and now it opens up a door for a whole other, because you know it's not just Selena versus Cesar Duran back and forth. Now there's a more stakes and substance behind the story.
100%. And I really hope they do, because I know the Core Power does have a relationship with Dr. Drew. I would love to see a CD Selena family therapy session. I think that would be
with who? You have to. I don't really watch TV.
So Dr. Drew is pop culture. He's kind of like a couple. He's like a couple therapist for the stars. And he
okay, gotcha.
Like there's Dr. Phil, and then there's Dr.
Yeah.
But Dr. Drew does like celebrity couples. Like there was a show on MTV called Celebrity Therapy where all celebrities would go and like when they were fucked up and shit and they were trying to work through their shit.
Who wants to broadcast that stuff on there?
Well, MTV did for like 3 seasons, but that's MTV. But
who
seriously,
broadcast their life like that.
Even if it's not Dr. Drew, like get me Dr. Phil, I think a Selena and Cesar Duran therapy session is the next logical step to go. There is a lot of trauma and animosity. These two need to heal. They got to heal.
Like just imagine for a second, like where was Jerry Springer filmed?
I believe he was Chicago.
Was he Chicago?
I believe he was Chicago.
Oh, he died. I forgot he died last year.
Yeah, he R.I.P. to Jerry Springer for sure.
Yeah, damn, I forgot about that.
He was in Chicago or Philadelphia.
Damn, because that would have been awesome if they had Jerry like.
Well, they could get Steve Wilkos.
Is that the guy who was the
That's
security
a
guard?
security guard who had his own show after. Yeah, Steve Loco.
Yeah, Steve. No, nothing against Steve, but he's
Yeah.
no Jerry.
So then logical, we have to
But
go to like Dr. Phil or Dr. Drew. We have to do that.
but I imagine, you know what? I imagine there's a Mexican similar equivalent, which
Probably.
would probably make more sense given they're both
Actually, they should really go like hardcore with it. They should go like Psycho Clown. Like Psycho Clown should be the therapist. I would love it.
moderating
Love it.
their.
I would love it.
Oh
That'd be
my,
amazing.
that actually would be if they ran like a Selena and Cesar in therapy,
Mm.
like
Psycho
run
Clown?
that bit. That
Yeah,
would
yeah.
be gold.
Or what about like
Gold
Sam Adonis
as a
holding a
out of the
mirror?
ring segment. Gold.
Sam Adonis holding a mirror, like because he's such a narcissistic fuck, holding a mirror, and he's like, "Sorry, were you guys talking? I was just looking at how beautiful I am. I wasn't paying attention." Money.
That's what needs
There's
to happen.
money to be made in the therapy sessions of Selena and CD. Okay, so now it is officially Battle Riot time, and Mystico number 1, Jimmy Wang number 2, they kick it off. Notable big elimination for me. How about this? Paul Hauser eliminating Tom Lawlor with ease in the early
Paul
going.
Hauser eliminated a bunch of people.
He did before he himself got eliminated, but the big notable one was eliminating Tom Lawlor, and new Contra soldier revealed, and it's none other than Minoru Suzuki. Holy fuck. Okay, Contra is just stacking the goddamn. I mean, it's logical, but I don't know how much control Mats Kruger can keep Suzuki under. Suzuki likes to do Suzuki things. So as long as Kruger allows Suzuki to do Suzuki stuff and be violent and hurt people, that'll be fine. The minute Kruger tries to, even for an inch, try to push Suzuki in his direction, Suzuki's not going to play with that. He's not going to play with it. I'm sorry.
I mean, he had Suzuki-gun, which was his crew back in New Japan, which he passed over to, I forget who it was, because my New Japan history is not the greatest.
Mhm.
But it became like something else.
Mhm.
So he might be okay just at this point in his career, just being a soldier. I don't know how much we'll even see of Minoru Suzuki for Contra, but they certainly are stacked with talent. I mean, it's no question. And I don't think they're going to stop anytime soon. So it's going to be all out faction warfare pretty soon.
100%.
I mean, they were well represented in the Battle Riot. That's for
100%. Kruger had a great run in the Battle Riot. Suzuki had a great run in the Battle Riot. And I mean, Suzuki being added as a member of Contra, it makes sense. He's unhinged and he loves violence. And that kind of is Contra's mantra.
He was in there for a while.
Oh, he was in there for a while. But how about some other notable vintage, surprises? Scotty Riggs won half the American males. If you don't
Dude,
know.
I popped so hard.
Oh, me too.
I'm not gonna lie.
Shout out to Scotty Riggs, man. He looks fantastic for his age. He looks solid. He looks good, man.
Like I remember, WCW. I remember Scotty Riggs even pre-American males. Scotty Riggs I actually liked when I was a teenager. I thought he was a good wrestler. But then American males. That's hilarious. When I saw that pop up on the screen, dude, I lost it. I was like taking pictures of the screen, messaging my buddies. I'm like, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
Well, then you also may appreciate the fact that CW Anderson was in there.
Yes.
Local Georgia talent like Slim J, who's had a great career in Georgia in the indie scene over there. It was great to see him. I just love the Battle Riot for all these little surprises and the nostalgia factor. It was great to see. And as the surprises continued and the fun continued, Matt Riddle was able to survive everyone else and win the Battle Riot. The Final Four was great. The Final Four, as far as if I remember,
Thatcher, Davey Boy, Riddle, and Callahan.
Yeah, and it was a great Final Four. And at one point, everybody ganged up on Riddle, but they all just turned on themselves because at the end of the day, it's every man for himself in the Battle Riot. And Matt Riddle outlasts, and now he's got his ticket punched to challenge Kojima anytime, anywhere for that title shot.
And I liked how they ended it where everyone was kind of on the outside. Like it looked like everybody could go out for a little bit, but Matt Riddle managed to stay up. Yeah, it was a super cool Battle Riot. We had that YouTube Chris Danger, I think it was.
Yes, Chris Danger was in there as well with his 1.2 or 1.4 million subscribers.
He didn't look bad. Panama Sunrise looked a little rough, but pulled it off. Hey, you know what? Wrestling's a business. There was 40 participants. You can't complain about one or two that were in there to try and get some more eyes on the product. Like if he's got 1.2 million subscribers, if a quarter of those tuned in to Battle Riot. That's huge numbers.
Well, and considering that
Oh,
it was free on YouTube, it made sense to have like I mean, they're not the first promotion to use YouTube's personalities. Hello, Logan Paul. Enough said. That's all I'm gonna
yeah,
say.
and Paul Walter Helzer, I thought did real well. I've never even watched Cobra Kai.
You got to get into it.
Uh,
Oh, we
I don't
forgot to
watch
mention
TV,
this
bro.
though. What about this surprise that Arachnid showed up? Arachnid did show up, and he
Oh,
was
Tom
unmasked.
Lawlor.
It was Tom Lawlor stole the Arachnid costume. So at least
He
Paul
was the
Hauser,
masked assassin. He
yeah,
was Arachnid Man.
yeah,
Uh,
he Tom Lawlor, he did the three faces of Foley gimmick, all kinds, man. It was great. It was honestly, this was not my favorite Battle Riot in terms of the actual match, but it was
it
the
was a
funnest.
fun one though. It was a lot of
My
fun.
favorite one for me would be Battle Riot 4, where we saw the debut of 5150. The shopping cart, I'll never forget. That was a great moment in Battle Riot history for sure. But I think you and I both called it that it was going to be Matt Riddle and Sami Callihan, at least in the final four. And we figured that Matt Riddle was going to win it. But you know what? All said and done. Now, the big question is, though, Rob, where does Matt Riddle punch his ticket? Do we get it right away or do we wait? Do we get it at Blood and Thunder? Do we wait a little bit? When does Matt Riddle punch that ticket?
If I'm Matt Riddle, I'm looking at what just happened tonight and how hard Tom Lawlor pushed Satoshi Kojima and he couldn't get the win. And I'm waiting until Satoshi goes through another match like that. And then I'm coming right after because that's the only way you're gonna knock that old man off the belt. He off his perch. He is got like a chin of steel. You can't take him out. So I think that's what Matt Riddle has to do, despite how incredibly talented Matt Riddle is, and he's an MMA fighter. He hits hard. I think you need to get Satoshi Kojima when he's down in order to strategically secure the win.
And Matt Riddle and I, we had a conversation a few weeks ago for Straight Talk Wrestling. We did talk a lot about Sami Callihan sticking his nose in where it doesn't belong. And Matt Riddle said he was going to deal with him. So if you want to go back through the archives of Straight Talk, check out that quick little 10-minute interview. Then that'll catch you up on everything that we did. But for this Battle Riot review show, we are done. We are wrapped. We are in the can. I enjoy these reviews. I'm sorry that we're late so much these days, guys, but just schedules and stuff don't link up. Life is busy, and you know what? We try to do these as often as we can. And it was easier for us when MLW was on a strict strategic schedule because we were able to follow that schedule and we were able to work our lives around it. Now it's kind of few and far between. We hate.
Sorry, go ahead.
We hate getting them out 3 days late. We do. We want to get them out as early as we can, but like I said, life gets in the way. Hey, better late than never, as far as I'm concerned.
That's
Anybody
right.
that tunes,
It's partially a good thing because we are doing more stuff within wrestling. So it's just that we're busy doing things, whether it's commentary, ring announcing, refereeing, all the stuff that we do, which stuff like this podcast has led to. So we're grateful for it and all these opportunities. But unfortunately, it means our schedules get tighter. So we have to try and find the time here and there. And in between of holding full-time jobs, and George has a family. I don't, but George has,
well, Rob has a
life.
cat. Rob has a cat.
I got a cat and I got toys. That's it. But yeah,
depending on which part of the episode you turn into, you hear a cat.
Tune in. Who tune in, you deal with our tardy schedules.
Yes.
But we appreciate all of you. If you're listening to this, we are grateful for your support.
Absolutely. And if you're watching this, thank you so much. We are at 940 on the Straight Talk YouTube page, or sorry, 939. I think I lost one, then gained one, then lost one. It's in there, but we are literally 61 away from 1,000. And at 1,000, I'm going to announce the winner for the contest that we have. And the contest is really cool. It's very simple. You just subscribe to Straight Talk, watch any video, and comment the words Trent7, and you're automatically entered in to win two. That's right, two authentic Trent7 autographs signed by himself. He's a good friend of the show. He always loves Straight Talk. He always loves MLW. He loves what we do here on the product, and he reps us to the fullest. So we appreciate Trent7 for that. So check out those contest details, subscribe, and just comment Trent7. It literally takes 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Yeah, 2 seconds. And last thing, you'll notice I'm wearing my company's Pride shirt that they put out. It is Pride Month. If you are a member of that community, we wish you a happy Pride Month. And
absolutely.
Not, we just hope that you join us in wishing those who are a happy Pride Month.
Absolutely. Love yourself for who you are and how you were made. And that's it. You were born this way. It's beautiful. Love whoever you want. Absolutely. Except Sami Callihan. Don't love Sami Callihan. That guy pisses me off.
I was like, oh no, what is he going to say? Please.
Fuck
no.
Sami Callihan. Okay. That guy's an asshole. No, I love Sami.
Okay. We can deal with that.
I love Sami Callihan. Yeah. Also love bread. I mean, Kojima loves bread. I love bread.
Bread Club, baby.
Bread. That's what I'm telling you, man. The reserve tank on Kojima with the carbs is unreal. And that is how we're going to end this podcast. Happy Pride Month. Happy wrestling. Peace, love, and wrestling. As always, I'm your host, your boy, George Mackay. And this is Uncle Bobby B. We will see you guys on the next MLW review show. Peace.
Adios.
We just people from the north side. Once and Timmy's at the shore fine. Winter ready on the full ties. Heavy traffic during 4-5. Gotta hustle on your own time. Color people every port side. We just people from